here we mother effing go. It's been holding on to this one for a while. Trueversations. So if you're new to the channel, which I'm assuming you are because we are just starting the channel, Trueversations is when it's kind of like my journal to me. That's where you've ended up. And I'll do my best to uncover things that I've been experiencing the previous week or the week that's just been, and also giving a brutal, honest opinion about that, right? So this is why it's called Trueversations, because it's true conversations with self. And one of the things that has been really on top of mind this week has been balance. And especially when you are working as an entrepreneur, when you're working as a high achiever, whether you're working as in sport, anyone that is just a high achiever, I think everybody can relate to this. It comes down to the fact that the narrative that's out there right now for us entrepreneurs, it's very much like, go, no days off. And you listen to the big entrepreneurs that have big followings online. It's like, I hate vacation. I got to force myself for being on vacation. Feels wrong. Grind every day. You know what I mean? I am not a proponent of that. No stretch of the imagination for me personally like that shit. It's not what I do. That's not how I like to see my life, and it's not how I like to live my life. I fucking love going on vacation. No thing is sweeter than being on the beach the entire day with friends and family, eating and drinking good food, and playing around in the water. Few things can beat that. Now, if I would do that every day, however, I would go batshit crazy. But when I do that, I enjoy it to the fullest. And I try to do that. I swim in the ocean at least one time per week. Or once a day. Like, that's me. But I try to spend time at the beach at least one day per week. And that's my balance. That works specifically for me. And we have this hustle culture right now, or work culture, that is constantly like grinding, always getting after it. And that works for some. But if it doesn't work for you, don't try to force it. You have to find your own flow inside of your own life in order for you to perform at your top. Now, I know personally, because I tracked my shit and I journal a lot, I know personally that if I go and work 10 days straight, I gotta take a day off. Like, I need that one day to fully decompress, especially if when I'm doing something creative like podcasting or dancing. I gotta have time to just get new inspiration into my life and get new ideas and read books, etc. Right? So you have the micro things that I do every day in order for me to stay inspired and just happy. And then on the other hand, I have also the things that I do on a macro level to stay inspired and happy. Now again, a lot of people don't agree with me on this. However, I like to argue that my life is better. I think I enjoy my life a lot. Because you hear that also. That's also one of those things when it comes to entrepreneurship. It's like, don't focus on happiness. You don't need to be happy. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You don't need to be happy? Like, isn't that the best thing there is? Isn't the best feeling when you are waking up and happy? Isn't that the best feeling ever? However, do I wake up happy every day? Absolutely not. Like, probably not even the majority of my days. Now, that does not take away that there is a happiness metric that I'm keeping as a predominant indicator that I'm living the life that I should, right? Because I've been waking up with, like, on the other end of the spectrum, like the other extreme of always waking up super duper mega happy, life is perfect, and on the other end of the spectrum, I lived on the other end of the spectrum, right? Like, I lived here with panic, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts in the middle of the mornings for years. But in order for me I don't need to be happy every day, but I at least need to feel like a purpose, feeling content, feeling that I am happy in my life. I need smiles. I love that. That's just me. And I think that most of you guys watching are the same. However, you might be on the other end of the spectrum. And a lot of my mentors are there. So I take that energy, and when I need it at work, when I'm putting in 12-hour works, which is a normal work day for me, then that's when I use that fuel. Not when I'm at the beach. Not when I'm in Santan Town, which is the neighbor island, and just relaxing and just go there without my phone, just completely relaxation. There is a flow to everything. There is a season to everything, and there is when to do what, right? And I've just started incorporating Sunday Sabbath, which means that on Sundays I don't work at all. However, I broke that yesterday, and honestly, kind of bothers me. Because I was really looking forward of doing nothing. Now, I worked 4 hours, and then rest of the day I chilled. However, those 4 hours, I didn't enjoy working those 4 hours. I didn't enjoy working at all those 4 hours. But there again, I gave those 4 hours to work, and I know I'm going to have an incredible week in front of me. But there is a balance to life, and you want to find your individual. You want to find the beautiful threshold of when you are really pushing yourself, but you know that you can gear down and relax at any moment. You push, and then when you need to, you go down, right? You have to find that balance, because it's such a specific one. That's what we're focused on creating for dancers in my Dancers Health program. We want to find a way for you to develop as a dancer, increase your happiness level, become mentally and physically stronger at the same time. How do we do that? You got to find that threshold. And you only find that threshold by living outside of your comfort zone. That threshold exists outside of your comfort zone. So it's your perfect balance. People will be saying, there is no such thing as balance. No. There is no such thing as universal balance. There is definitely something as a personal balance. Certainly. And with it being said, this is going to tie perfectly together with one of the subjects that my good friend has really been talking about this lately, and it's thinking long term when it comes to almost everything in life. You want to think about long term things when it comes to your relationships, long term things when it comes to your community, long-term things when it comes to your project, your business endeavors, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that you are investing the time, you're planting the seeds, but then you got to respect the fact that it takes times for the seeds to blossom, to become flowers or whatever plants you're planting. However, it happens in seasons, right? So it might stay in the soil for 4 months. Then it's going to come up a little sprout. Then it's going to be a sprout for about 4 months. Then after that, it's really going to take off, right? Now, the same thing goes with business ideas, and the same thing goes with your community. So if you're invested in a community, like I said, my weekend was incredible. I didn't do Sunday Sabbath perfectly as I want to. However, on Saturday, I was okay with working on Sunday because I really chilled on Saturday, which is something I usually do not do. So on Saturday, I went to an album or to a single release of a good friend of mine, Julieta, here in Mindelo. Incredible. Got to see her new music video, super artistic and good vibes only. Now, when I was there, we went to this cultural coffee shop / bar / hangout, very unique for here in Mindelo. And at that place, when I was there, I was sitting around and I'm like, wow, I know everyone in here. It's a Saturday night. I didn't speak to anyone. However, everyone that is here, 20 people, all of them are my friends. I consider them to be people that I like. I don't know them on the deep level, all of them, but I like everyone. Everybody has a really good light energy around them. So there is no big ego walking in the door. Very calm and relaxing, right? Now, that is something I want to keep investing into. I don't need to go there every day. I'm not even going to go there every weekend. However, I will keep investing in that because every time I'm there, I feel so good. Same thing with my parents. I will keep investing inside our relationship. I want to keep going on travels with my parents. I want to keep doing this with my siblings. I want to keep having fun because of long-term thinking. plant the seeds, and respect the flow of everything. And that goes to the fact that timing is everything. Timing, when to speak, when to deliver something, when to pull the trigger to shoot, timing is everything. Timing is what's gonna make sure that you either hit or miss. That's all it is. Timing will be the one denominator or the one thing that makes the difference of you hitting the target or you missing the target completely. Timing is the one thing that your message will be delivered in the right way or not be captured by the audience at all, right? So if I'm talking to you guys right now, or to you, there's not you guys, I'm talking to you individually, and I'm always jumping around, which I've done in some videos in the past, right? Then you will see clearly that like my timing is off. The content is good, but the timing is off. The timing doesn't fit the context. So the content is good, but the timing is completely off. Same thing goes with like stand-up comedians. The content might be good, but the timing is off. You might be a great fighter, but your timing is off. So when you're hitting, the other person sees it because of your timing. So why is this so important? Like I talk about it, and it's like the perfect example the other day. Me and my boy had a conversation. Me and my boy, his girl had a conversation. He said something, and I reacted to it. And I knew he reacted to it. Because it's like he spoke out of line, so to say. And I knew he reacted to it because I heard it in his voice because we've known each other for so long. However, I reacted to it, and I was about to comment on his misstep. But instead of calling him out in front of his girl, which could potentially lead to an argument or could potentially lead to an irritation, I stopped myself and then I thought about this concept that timing is everything. I don't need to say it right now. That's just my ego talking. If I need to say it right now, when I'm aware of that he's with his woman and me addressing it right now might trigger something, I don't think it would. But that's the point that remains. My point remains the same. Like if I am emotionally intelligent enough to know that, it's now my responsibility to deliver it with perfect timing. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. You don't need to. I have another one. Like I do my absolute best to live with brutal honesty. Like if you ask me what I think about your drawing and I think it sucks, I will tell you. However, there is a timing that fits into brutal honesty also. If you just finished a dance show, this is your first dance show, you come to me and you say, "Hey, this is amazing." Like let's set this up. Let's set this up properly. I come to your dance show. This is the premiere. It's your first dance show. You do your show. I personally think your show sucks. Then we go out. You come out to me. This again, I'm at your dance show. You come out to me. You say you're fully dressed, makeup and everything. You come out and you say, "Hey, what did you think about my dance show?" That is not the right timing for me to give you brutal and honest truth. If I think it sucked, timing is you. Like you gotta respect you. Gotta understand the timing of the things you're saying. So, same scenario. You come out, adrenaline is super high, endorphins are super high. You just been on stage. You just performed your show, even though it sucked. Even though I think it sucked. And you ask me, "What did you think about the show?" Now is not the moment for me to give you my hard criticism. That is super disrespectful. But what I can do then is that, because I want to be brutally honest with you, so I just shift the focus and focus on something that I know is true and also benefits the conversation. So if you tell me, "How was the show?" I can number A, say, "Well, it fucking sucked. I don't know what you're doing. This is terrible." How would that make me as a friend? Or I can say, I shift it and I say something that is actually true. And I say, "Wow, it was such a delight. I really loved watching you in your essence. Like it's such an honor for me to be here and see you perform the show. I had a great time." That shit's true. Then a couple of days goes, a day or two goes, then I can pick up the phone and call you. Hey, do you want my honest review of your show? Yeah, and I give you the opportunity to say no. I still give you the opportunity to say no. Do you want my honest opinion about your show? Hey, what are you doing right now? I'm out with my friends or I'm out with my mom. Okay, now is not the right timing. Please call me when you have 5 minutes and you're alone. I'd like to give you my feedback of your show. That's a way more mature and emotionally intelligent way of delivering criticism. If I need to ventilate on David that I live with, if I feel like, bro, I'm carrying this burden, because I do think there is a timing when we men need to, or I don't think, I know there is a timing when we men need to ventilate because we carry so much in our backs. However, before I tell David about how bad my day was, for example, I go to him and I say, bro, like, I need to ventilate a little bit. Do you got a time? Do you got a minute? Like, I need to ventilate. That's what we call it. You got to just ventilate. Open the windows. Get some air inside. You got to let some shit out. Just listen to me. And then I also tell him, I don't need your feedback. I just need to ventilate. Are you able right now? Because if he says, nah, bro, like, I'm focused on this and I just want to complete it. Can it wait till, like, after? Just give me an hour. Cool. Don't worry about it. Because then I know that he is in a position to help me to navigate out of this shitstorm that I'm in. But if I'm stuck in this shitstorm and I just throw shit at David and he's not prepared, he didn't know what to do, he didn't understand how to react. Like, does he want feedback? Does he just want to ventilate? Does he want me to, like, what are we doing? Like, are we trying to find a solution here? It's really fucking hard for him to navigate. So I set up I set up the environment in order for me to succeed. Again, timing is everything. Timing is everything. And I think we spoke about this in another trueversation also, that when it comes to this timing thing, there's almost like a divine timing to things, and you have to. There's gonna sound like some fucking hippie talk, but just bear with me for a second here. There is a timing to everything, and you need to be able to appreciate the signs that the universe or the sun or God or whatever you call it is giving to you. So if you're in a position and you want to accomplish something, right? And you're finding too much friction, you're being met with too much friction, you have to be consciously aware of, is this friction just showing that it's not for me? Or is this just friction that is obstacles that I need to prove to myself how badly I actually want it? 2 examples. Naturally, I'm a fucking terrible dancer. Naturally. Like, my default was never a good dancer. I had to practice a lot in order for me to become good. Now, that doesn't mean that, okay, I'm bad at dancing, this will never work. That's different. Versus, that means like, okay, but how bad do I actually want it? Now I got to test myself. How bad do I actually want it? Am I willing to put in the work? Versus, my friend just bought a new house. They have been, or let me correct myself. My friend bought a house over a year ago. Just right about now, they got the keys to the apartment. Now, since or during that year, they've been almost scammed by the lawyer. The real estate agent tried to fuck him up also. There was like water damage in the place. The electricity didn't work. It was wrong with the papers. They tried to go to sign some things in I don't know what to call it in English, but like in court essentially. Now the person didn't arrive on time. The lawyer was late. La 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 la. There was so much things with that apartment that I called my friend that day and I said, hey, look, like, believe in what you want to believe in, but I think that someone or something is telling you that you should not live in that place. That place is not for you, brother. That's an apartment. It shouldn't be this much friction. You lost money. You've been irritated. You lost so much thought space. just been so many things back and forth. Your ancestors or the universe or God is trying to show you that you shouldn't live there, brother. The question is, do you listen? Now, you can get yourself in there. You can get that apartment and turn it into a paradise. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there is way too much friction in order for you to get there. It's kind of like if you go after a partner, a girl or a guy online, right? You talk to this girl, you talk to this guy, gives you a little bit of interest. Then a couple of days goes, he don't answer. Gives you a little bit of interest, but you don't really pick up. Or he don't really pick up. There is a timing to everything. There's divine timing to everything. And when you're trying to force it, you are literally working against what is meant for you. Respect it. Winners respect the process. So when you want to force things and it doesn't go your way, you have to be humble enough to understand that winners respect the process. And you have to be hungry enough to remember that you have to keep going, because long-term thinking, consistency, it's the name of the game, whether that is in relationships, building communities, building a business, or building a body. Consistency is what it all comes down to. There is no such thing as a universal perfect balance, but there is definitely a thing as your perfect balance. Do your absolute best to find it. Stand on strong principles. And remember that timing is everything.